All right, we'll go to Ben Garrett.
Yeah, Mike, Derek, sitting out the fall with the arm strain stuff and then the preseason, kind of getting back into it. When did you know that he was starting to look right again? And did you know this kind of effort was coming from him?
Well, I don't know what he was in the first, but we saw a bunch of 96s and 90 at least one 97, and we haven't seen that, but we've seen a velocity jump from him, and a lot of people don't realize. I was just talking to a scout here, that's back here in the club, that if you look at the TrackMan data, he actually was our hardest thrower last year, on average velocity, but it is a tick up. But I guess the real answer is probably in the fall when he started throwing competitively. He went through in the Northwoods League, got a little tendonitis, and it was in that elbow area. So we just were really cautious with him and held him back. And then there was just no reason to rush him back to pitch in the fall as he came back from the throwing protocol or the rehab that Josh had him on. We threw a couple simulated games at the end of the fall, and the velocity was terrific. I mean, usually in the inter-squad games, the guys aren't going to throw like that, especially with nobody, just facing a hitter, by themselves. And he was probably up to 93, 94 and looked terrific. And then when we got back out in the spring, more of the same.
Chase, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, I know you still had to win a recruiting battle for Derek and all, but did it feel like a gift a little bit when he was available, his senior year and everything that happened to have a prospect like that, kind of late in the class?
I don't know if gift's the right word because, we had to fight some big people for him. But, fortunate we were in a position that, we had money and we needed another arm. And, and fortunate that you get a kid that, wants to come, a kid from California, but wants to come east, wants to play in the Southeastern Conference. And, but that certainly, worked well for us.
How's Chatney? Any update there?
Looks like he pulled his hamstring. Just don't know how bad. Some of those things you got to wait till the next day just to see strength level and see how they react.
Kendall, go ahead.
Mike, what was kind of your feeling on Derek's stuff? We've talked about the fastball velo, but he got pretty good feel for the slider at times as well.
He did, especially early. I think at the end he got a little tired and threw a couple sliders that weren't as sharp later in the game. But then we finished that last inning, that sixth inning, with some outstanding changeups. And so he really is a 3-pitch guy. He does throw a curveball. We kind of put the curveball on the shelf a little bit, to really work on the slider, in this early spring, but really impressed with them. And there's a lot of guys out here. We talked about it last night with Hoagland. There's guys out here that throw hard, but I thought the difference tonight was he pitched. He was able to locate his fastball. He was able to get ahead, and we needed him to do that. Because they're a team that if you give them free base runners, if you walk people, if you hit people, if you make errors, that really helps their offense. They're so athletic and they can bunt and run. And, it was a little different, I think, team than we're used to playing. And so, Derek, I thought was a great match for him because, he's a strike throwing machine. And tonight, he was pretty good.
Nick, go ahead.
Mike, obviously the guys are going to see the rankings and the hype that comes out, see some number ones. How do you address that with the team? Do you lean into that at all, or do you kind of leave it alone and just keep playing?
I really, I know one of the polls, Baseball America, came out today, and I try not to follow that. You got to be careful as a coach. What you say and how you react, and that's your question. But to me, you can't say in one breath it doesn't matter, and then come out and give a speech about it. At least that's kind of my take on it. At the end of the day, it's nice and the polls are there and it's nice to be recognized. And anybody that says, different is probably lying to you. But the truth of the matter is it doesn't win you games. It doesn't help you, in anything except for, some propaganda for recruiting or anything like that. And so I don't know why we would talk about it or mention it. We never mentioned when we're ranked 5th or 4th. We never, talked about that. There's enough pressure playing in this program and playing in this conference and being here this weekend with these great teams that I don't think you need to, put any more, substance to that. Again, it's good for people to recognize you, but at the end of the day, they come out every week. And so at the end of the day, if you want to be ranked, you better win.
All right, we'll go to Parrish.
Mike, just one run allowed in 14 innings by the bullpen. Did you expect that kind of performance from them collectively out here?
Well, you hope so, and that's one of the challenges I think for this opening weekend. And I think I said it either yesterday or on Saturday night. With the level of competition, on this big stage, there's really not a lot of chances for mulligans or do-overs, or hey, we're gonna end up putting a big inning together late in the game and make up for that mistake. And so you're trying some things out. And, we pitched a lot of guys, as many guys probably in one weekend, an opening, weekend, 3-day set, than maybe we ever have. And, they've all pitched well. So, your hope is that they will. And we knew that we had a lot of depth, but man, it was great to see, Brandon Johnson get out there today and throw with great stuff, and Mallett's there at the end. And, they're all looking for their opportunities. Some other guys will get some opportunities on Wednesday against Arkansas State. So just proud of the way they all competed.
All right, we'll go to John.
Hey, Mike. So last week you were mentioning how your guys were really swinging their bats heading into this, but you wanted them to kind of work on a few things pitching wise. Well, you just played 3 top 10 teams. You only allowed 8 runs in 3 games, and we all saw what you did at the plate. Could these first 3 games have gone better for your team, in your opinion?
Yeah, we played well. I was kind of asked on the radio just a few minutes ago, and I'm proud of the way we played. We can improve. We didn't play perfect, and there's areas that some at bats we'd like to have back, some pitches we'd like to have back, some plays, some base running plays, and so things to work on. But overall, I'm really happy with the way we performed. And not just the result. I mean, I think you got to be careful. Of course, we're excited to win 3 games against 3 really good teams, and 3 teams that are going to win a lot of games this year. But more importantly, the way we handled everything, the way we handled getting out here, it wasn't easy. With all the ice and snow in Dallas area, all the ice and snow in Oxford, and not knowing what was going to happen. Us and State, weren't sure, up until probably the last moment, if we were going to get here or not. And so with all of the obstacles, it's hard to imagine we could play much better than we played this weekend.
Ben, go ahead.
Mike, Kevin Graham's done a lot of work to try to improve against left-handed pitching. How nice was it to see him wait back on that breaking ball and get that inning going?
Yeah, big hit, and although we didn't have a ton of hits this weekend, we had some big hits, some timely hits, and I thought, that was the difference in all 3 of the games. We were able to hit with runners in scoring position. I'm sure, Sims will ask for that stat, what we, our batting average with runners in scoring position and with runners on base. And I thought, that was maybe the difference. We had some lulls offensively, but you're not always going to score. We always say that offense, can come and go, but pitching and defense seem to show up, every day. And, I thought we got, some big timely hits, and Kevin was a big reason for that.
Nick, go ahead.
Do you have a timetable for Kale to come back yet, or is that still kind of up in the air?
No, he just got released today. All the tests came back, and, he'll be, in the lineup on Wednesday.
Obviously a good problem to have with Trey playing well and him coming back, but just what did you think of Trey today, those 2 big hits there?
No, just huge. And, the ceiling on Trey LaFleur is so high. And, a lot of the beat reporters that are on right now know that, how we talked about him last year coming in. And, it's not a secret that he struggled a little bit. It's, his first fall. And but I'm just proud of him. We've had him in the outfield, but he's an outstanding first baseman. He really played first base before he came here. Really the outfield was the transition for him. But he's super athletic. He's the guy that's, one of the fastest, if not the fastest on the team. He's got the highest vertical on the team. And to put him at first base, watch him play defensively, and then, of course, finish off the weekend, with a big double and a home run. Just really happy for him.
Chase, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, are you going with McDaniel on Wednesday? Just kind of curious.
Yes.
All right. Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.